How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And before we get started, I want to say happy 4th of July to all of my American viewers out there. I hope you are enjoying your holiday. I also want to let you guys know the private group has been started and we are growing. Whether you want to be a better trader or a better investor and you're looking to make money in the stock market, then this group is for you. You can find the link inside the description. We'll be happy to have you a part of the family. So what we're going to be talking about today is Workhorse. Many of you guys were actually requesting this, so we're going to go over it. So let's jump into the agenda. So the first thing we're going to be covering is a technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. I want to make sure you guys have a strategy. You have a game plan going in on Tuesday if you decide to get into this play. Then secondly, we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know, does Workhorse have that short squeeze potential? What is the environment really looking like, and can we capitalize on this opportunity? Then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Are institutions getting involved in regards to buying and selling for Workhorse? Why do we want to know this? Because this will have an impact on those price fluctuations that we are seeing. And I want to make sure you guys are prepared and you know what to expect going into the week. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's jump into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Workhorse. So let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $14.17, being down 9.40%. On the low, it tested $13.79. Then on the high, testing $15.82. So when we take a look at our chart here, we want to see, hey, what are some areas of support for Workhorse? So we saw we got down to $13.79, but of course you can see this is an area where we have proven to see some support. If it decided to pull back even further than this $13.79 area, then I'll be looking forward to see how well it would hold up right here around $13.55. If it doesn't hold up at $13.55, then easily we could see it pull back further to around $13.35. And if it decided to pull back even more, I'd want to see how well it would hold some strength right here around this $13.10 area. So that's just something that I want you guys to be aware of so you're prepared and you're not surprised. Now, when we take a look at areas of resistance here, we got to $15.82. So one of the things we need to understand, yes, it did end up pulling back and closing at $14.17, but now this $15 area becomes a psychological area. And part of the reasons being is many who are going to be watching this, they want to see Workhorse get back above 15, and that's where positions are going to be started. And when it does do this, then we know that we're going to be hitting an area of resistance here like we saw on Friday, right at $15.82. If Workhorse can gain a lot of momentum and there's a lot of buying volume and we can get to around $16, it can start looking very strong very quickly. So I'll be looking forward to see, hey, if I'm going to be getting into this play as far as for a short-term trade, I'm going to look for Workhorse to get back to around $15 with a lot of momentum and then seeing where it can go from there. As far as where it is right now at the low 14s, I wouldn't feel too comfortable going into a position, but I'll probably set up a limit at 14 and probably have my stop loss set up here around $13.55 and then probably see what happens from there. But like I said, I won't be playing this myself, but that's just something to take a look at when we're seeing the chart. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Workhorse. So you can see the short volume on Friday was 6.2 million, and this was updated on July the 2nd, which was Friday. When I did the calculation in regards to the short volume ratio by looking at Yahoo, it gave us around just above 30%. So if we take a look at the short shares availability, it is at 200,000, updated 11 minutes ago, and the short ball free rate being at 5.62%. So we could see here on July the 1st, it was at 30.43, and also on June the 30th, it was at 30.73, and we could see on June the 29th, it was at 31.34. So that's when I did that calculation. There was no surprise that it's still in that 30% area in regards to the short volume ratio. So there's definitely a lot of short squeeze potential in Workhorse, and it's part of the reasons why it's been getting a lot of the attention that it's been having now. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Workhorse. So we can see on the inflow we had 61, and then on the outflow we had 68. We had one on the large, 41 on the medium, and then we had 18 on the small. For the outflow, we had 68, so that was 3 on the large. Medium, we had 45, and small, we had 20. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see here on the second big time outflow being at 1,548.27. When we take a look at the 1st and the 30th, they were both 0. But on the 29th and as well as the 28th, we had inflow days. So on the 29th, we had 453.36. And then on the 28th, we had 1,124.28. So what does this mean? Yes, we were going into a 3-day long weekend. So we had decreased volume overall in general. And of course, many people were taking profits, selling out of the position and so forth. So this is part of the reasons why there has been a lot of downward pressure in the price. Another thing that is also affecting Workhorse stock, they do have a 10% stake in Nordstrom Motors, and we already know about the implosion that is going on over there as well. So that's going to be having an impact on the stock as well, and I want to make sure you're also aware of that, because maybe you can look at some other opportunities, but you know what, we'll cover that in the final thoughts. Let's get to it right now. So for my final thoughts for Workhorse, there's definitely a lot to look forward to here, and I am going to be keeping it on my watch list. Part of the reasons being is this play does have short squeeze potential. When we took a look at the short interest information, it is just over 30%. Of course, we look for plays that have just over 21%. So the setup is there. But one thing we need to understand here, last week we didn't have a lot of volume because again, we were going into a 3-day long weekend. Many people were taking profits, selling out of their positions and so forth. And we saw that in the order flow, and we also saw that alongside in the technicals. So what we want to see for this week is increased volume and a lot more buying pressure. If we end up seeing that, then of course Workhorse can make some strong moves to the upside, and we did cover this by moving through those psychological areas that we've seen on the chart. Another thing we do need to understand, they have a 10% stake in Nordstrom Motors. So why is this important? We already know about the implosion that is going on over there. That stock price has been getting beat up quite a bit, and this is going to have an impact on the Workhorse stock. When I was taking a look at both of these stocks and I was looking at the charts, they look very similar, and of course it is of no surprise. So I want you to make sure you understand this, you are aware of this, just in case you start seeing, wait, what's going on? What's going on with Workhorse? Then make sure you take a look at RIDE. That's a ticker symbol for Nordstrom. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So as far as what things are going to be looking like, I'm going to be looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm going to keep it on my watch list. But at the end of the day, is this really like a play that I really want to get into? Not really, but for anyone that wants to get into it, then make sure you have a strategy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.